Let's talk about the difference between a justifiable objection and an excuse. Now, the difference is the following. After qualifying, after offering information, after determining that they're not able to make a decision through the qualifying process, not just based on what they're telling you, you're going to determine if the objection that they're giving you is justifiable. I'll give you an example. Customer walks in, he wants to get a quote for a vehicle that he has not purchased. So he's in the process of purchasing a car. Matter of fact, he has the VIN number, but has not purchased the vehicle, still needs to go to the dealership and finalize the actual purchase, the actual transaction. That's a justifiable objection. That's a justifiable situation where we know for sure within those seconds or within the moment that you're helping the client, you won't be able to sell them a policy. So the objection is the fact that we don't have the actual vehicle or that the customer has not purchased the vehicle. So therefore, we're unable to sell them a policy. That's a justifiable objection. Or just customers that are shopping around and they don't have the vehicles for photos and we're not able to obtain the photos at all. Maybe we're missing registrations, VIN numbers, and there's no way, absolutely no way whatsoever to obtain the information. So if we're missing certain information and we qualified and we investigated and we did our best to try to locate the information or to try to obtain the information, and at the end of the day we weren't able to, that's a justifiable objection. They're going to tell you, well, I'm not able to make a decision because I don't have certain information. Let me come back. So in this case, what we do is we offer a quote, we offer an LB, a lowball option, and we reschedule for a future date for them to come back with all the information. Or if we're talking about the first example, for them to purchase the vehicle and then for them to come back when the transaction has already been completed. So that's a justifiable objection. There's no way that we're able to sell them a policy regardless of all the tools that we have because it's not within our power. Now, an excuse, an objection, that's an excuse and a reason that customers are using to try to justify the reason why they should leave. And these are the ones that we're going to focus on within this program, within this course, to handle these objections are simply excuses such as, I don't have any time. There's no such thing. 90% of the clients that use the no time objection, they have a lot of time. They're just using that to leave. Or I need to talk to a spouse. Or let me think about it. Let me go home and look at my finances. All of these objections could easily be handled simply because they made a decision to walk into the office prior to the options, prior to us giving them information, and they had already made a decision to actually get a policy. Now, it's just a matter of us persuading them. It's a matter of us closing the deal, which we have all the tools. You're required to use all the closing tools, all the justifying information to close them. So keep in mind, there's a difference between a justifiable objection and an excuse. A justifiable objection is simply an objection that you investigated, you qualified, and you determined that it's completely out of our control and out of the client's control. That there's no way whatsoever, regardless of the options, regardless of what we do, that we could actually sell them a policy. Versus an excuse is just a reason or an excuse that they're coming up with simply to try to justify why you should let them leave. So keep that in mind. There's an excuse and a justifiable objection, which you have to determine based on qualifying and investigating. So don't assume that their actual objections are justifiable. Make sure you confirm them.